Talk to me, Majestic talks. Come and talk to me. Talk to me, Majestic talks. Come and talk to me.
Hi there. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Majestic Talk Show. I'm your host, Latasha Morgan, certified Christian life coach, certified professional life coach, board certified master Christian mental health coach, and a whole lot of other goodies, y'all. Thank you so much for being on the show. Our topic for today is love and community. We have a special guest, which is Cassie McDuffey. But we're going to talk about what our topic is about. So we're going to be discussing the importance of love within a Christian community and promoting mental wellness. That's so important. And we're going to explore how cultivating a loving and supportive community can provide a sense of belonging, encouragement, and we're going to give you some resources you can use for mental health support in your community. All right, so let's get ready to get started and get into it. Me and Cassie have been talking before the show, so this is going to be good, y'all. This is going to be really interesting. Cassie, come on to the stage. How you doing?
Hello, I am wonderful. How are you?
I'm blessed. It's so good to have you here. Thank you so much for being on the show. Like I said, we're going to be talking about love and community, which we've already been talking about and having a great conversation.
Yeah.
Then we almost forgot to start the show.
I know, right? Like, oh, it's time.
It was really good, too. It was really good. But Cassie, tell us about yourself. Tell us what you do and let everybody know.
Yes, hello everyone. I am Cassie McDuffey. I'm from Jackson, Mississippi. By day, I am a social worker. I work with the veterans. I'm a social worker with the veterans. Outside of that, my baby, Be the Difference program. This program is for teens, girls. Yes, don't we love our adolescents? This is for teen girls, you know, that age bracket. They trying to find themselves. They feeling themselves. They got all type of personality. And guess what? I love it. Yeah. So basically, we just mentor and we guide them just to be a part of the village, because we live in a day of time that we need our village back. We have lost the village and we need our village back. And so Be the Difference is my baby. And that's what I love to do.
Okay. What do you do there?
Yes. So I found Be the Difference in 2020. And my vision that I had was to provide some support to those young ladies that was in poverty, high crime areas. But I noticed when I launched this program, I had so many girls outside of my vision. I had girls just needed someone to just be a support system. Parents reach out just needing guidance. And so I began to open it up. So we open up to other counties, other cities. And so basically what we do, we get these young ladies, we pair them with a trusted mentor. That mentor reach out to them, become their big sisters, you know, reaching out to them weekly. They might send them an encouragement message just to check in, like, hey, I'm here, you ever need something? We get phone calls 2 a.m. because my boyfriend broke up with me. And so like that big sister, you know, giving them guidance and sound scriptures advice, because we are a Christian program. Outside of that, we meet every month, once a month. We bring all the girls in. We do team building activities. So we want to bond a sisterhood among these young ladies. And let them know that it's okay to be friendly with people. And so we bring people in the community, come to speak to them that education part that they don't get inside the classroom, like on mental health and finances and sex trafficking and things of that such, so that they can be educated and empowered to go on to adulthood.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's amazing. See how that connects with our topic for today, love
Yes.
and community, because
Yes.
that's what you are providing for children. And what race is that? Is that just black or that's any color?
I take them in the color. Right now, we only have African American young ladies, but I am open for whoever need our support.
Mhm.
I
Okay.
don't have a race thing, but the area that we in, of course, is African Americans.
Okay, that's really good, Cassie. That's awesome. I mean, because our children really do. I'm saying our like I have children, but children
That's
need
our
this
the village.
need that these days because really all they're getting information from is TV and different things that you should do, which is not what we really want them to think life is about. So that's good. And then you're still teaching them the word because back in the day we used to have a word in school. We don't have that now.
Mm-mm.
So that's a good thing. And we don't have that kind of community anymore in the black community and anywhere really because now we don't have that loving relationship. Mostly is about you on your own, you for yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right,
So
right,
you'll get it when you get it. But
right.
that's why we're talking about it today. And since we're talking about love and community, we have to know what love is and what that love looks like. So love is an intense feeling or deep affection. It's also a like or enjoyment of a certain thing. And when we talk about the love of God, then we're talking about it's unconditional, it's enduring, it's generous, it's faithful, it's sovereign, it's always present, just, and keeps promises. Now, we're not keeping promises today, are we? So then we're not showing the love of God. We're not being generous with people as we should
No.
be. And our love is sometimes not unconditional because sometimes we have strings on that thing. We
Yeah,
don't have that show that grace and that forgiveness freely forgive because sometimes like I said, we have strings attached. Like
yeah,
if you're not doing what I want you to do or saying things the way I want you to say, you're not voting for the person I want you to vote for, then maybe I'm gonna let you go. Because there are a lot of families now separated because of those very issues. That races are separated now because of issues. So that's what we're here today to provide a way that you can get that back.
yes.
Because like we were talking about earlier, our community used to be where, man, we'll be helping each other. And when
I know, right?
I think about community, I think in my mind, I picture those pictures saw back in the old days where you had all those people at church having no picnics. And
Mhm.
then if somebody in the neighborhood was hungry, they would get fed. They wouldn't even have to worry about it. That's
Right. And
community to me.
nobody knew that they was hungry.
Right. So they kept everything. And it wasn't so important for us to make people shame in public.
Hmm.
It wasn't like that. And we didn't say tell everybody business because then if you did that, then it'll be just like now how we do cancel culture now. And people are not able to get jobs. We take their jobs away from them. Now I don't agree with that. I understand that people shouldn't do things that they're doing, but there should be a grace factor
Yeah,
because we're doing things we shouldn't be doing.
right. And we tend to judge people about the same thing we doing, but we behind closed doors. So
Yeah, right.
yeah,
And God still gives us grace. He
yeah.
sends us grace all the time and forgiveness. But think about what we would be like if he took all of that away.
I can't even imagine. I can every day I thank him for grace and I thank him for mercy. Because I couldn't even imagine if he didn't supply me with that grace and mercy. And because the way that I came in this faith walk, you know, I was that type of person that did everything on the Sunday, have no respect for nobody. But he showed grace and mercy towards me. So now that I'm on the other side, I can extend that same grace and mercy because the Lord did it for me when I didn't even deserve it.
Hmm.
And so I think sometimes we forget what the Lord has done for us and we don't want to be kind to people. We don't want to show them that grace. And I don't understand it. Like, all you gotta do is just look back over your life,
Hmm.
you know?
Hmm. And see where he's brought you from.
Right. It should make you show mercy to your sister or your brother, even when they fall, or even if they do something to you. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it should be easier to say, "Hey, I forgive you." But
Mm-hmm.
we don't forgive easily. We hold that thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it changes your, like I was talking last night on Purpose Wednesday, it changes your view of the world when you don't freely forgive, when you
Yes.
don't freely let go. It changes your view of everybody else. So yeah, you're right. And I want that community back. So what is a community? Is a group of people in the same place or have a particular characteristic in common. It's a feeling of fellowship with others. It's a
Yes.
feeling where you're safe, where you feel like you'll be encouraged, where you feel like you belong. And we have lost that, especially in the church.
Mm, mm,
Because
mm.
now, if you're not in some places, not everywhere, but in certain places, I have seen where people are like, okay, if you don't belong to this clique with me, then I ain't gonna talk to you.
Right.
Because you look a certain way, or even you a certain color, or just certain things keep us from providing that community that we should have. And when we're talking about mental health, then that becomes a different issue, because now we're talking about we have a stigma on mental health now, especially black and brown. What goes on in my house stay in my
That's
house,
what
and
else.
I'm
Yeah.
not about to tell you this. And that's how we got in the predicament that we're in. That's how
Yes.
we've lost what we used to have, the connectivity and the working together we used to have. We don't work together like we used to. I said this to someone. I said, I don't see the same results that the people, our ancestors had before. So when I say that, I'm saying when they would march, what did they do before they marched? They had prayer.
Prayer.
They
Mhm.
had the word. They congregated together and they discussed things together. They walked together. They were actually really unified, and that's
The
why.
love was real.
Yeah,
The
and the faith
love was real. Yes.
and the faith in God was real.
Yes. That's what we done lost. We done lost our faith in God. And because we don't have that faith in God, we don't have that relationship with Him to order to have that love. It's not pure anymore. And to
Hmm.
go back to what you were saying, that people don't talk anymore because they're afraid to talk because of they talk, they told their business to the wrong person that didn't have love and maybe went and spread it. And so people are so like, okay, I'm just going to keep this thing to myself because I don't know who I can talk to anymore.
Hmm. Yeah, you don't feel, and if, like I said, if they don't feel safe, they're really not going to be delivered. And I think too, the other problem is they're not delivered really too because we're looking more at the spirit than the mental, the physical part
Yeah.
of the person.
Yeah.
We're more concerned about
With the
that.
spirit. Mm-hmm.
And when we come together in community, I think that if in a community, to me, there are people that do specific things. They're in a place like, I think of the Army as a community. They all have different jobs, right? You got the Army, you got the Navy, you have the Navy SEALs. You have all those different. What's the other type of Army? The Navy, the
Air
Marines.
Force.
Yeah, you got Air Force. All of them do specific things, right?
Yeah.
And they stay in their lane.
Right.
But they know what their job is, and then they're able to communicate with the other people that are in their specific place. The problem is in the church, in this community of the Christian church, people don't know where their place is. They don't. If they knew what their place was, we wouldn't be having this
This
conversation.
conversation.
So here's the thing: we don't know what our place is because we don't know what our gifts are. The gifts, the spiritual gifts, should be operating in the church as it says in scripture, right? So there
Yes.
should be shepherding, there should be encouragement. All of those things are in a community. If we operate in those things, then our community will be stronger, right? Our community, we would actually see the manifestation of the word of God in churches, right?
Right.
So if we're in our places, So what I see that as this, I see mental health coaches. I see pastoral counselors, that operate. We're talking about mental health support,
Mhm.
right? So I see mentorship, just like you do, mentorship programs. I see counselors.
Yes.
All, and we should have.
All of these are needed within the body of Christ.
And especially, we don't see these in most Black and brown churches. Whether you're small or huge, you should still have some form of care in your church that will help people. Companions. Everybody don't need mental health. Everybody don't have mental health issues, but they may be lonely.
Yes.
They
Yes.
might need a companion. They might need someone to just go with them to the doctor. Maybe they don't have family and need somebody just to be with them, right? So that's what community is. If you look back and you see communities, that's what it used to be. We were all helping each other.
Right. And that's why it's important, like in the church, to make sure that we are training our
Mm-hmm.
leaders, even our lay members, to
Mm-hmm.
have that compassion, to know what to say in a time of needs, to have that resource available. You know, you may have someone to come off on the street and they may be hungry. And if you
Mm-hmm.
don't provide food, then you
Mm-hmm.
should have a resource book or somebody to say, well, I know the church next door, they give out food. So let me make a contact with them. But the problem is that we don't want to network and collaborate.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to call the church next door because I don't want them to think nothing of my church.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, you got somebody in your church is hungry. So guess what? You send them right back out the door. And guess what? Because they told me I could come to church and receive love or receive what I need, I'm going back into where I came from, the world, because I didn't get love there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, this is what they saying. I didn't get the love that I was looking for because when I came there hungry, you didn't feed me. As the word
Mm-hmm.
said,
That's right. And when I
because
needed
we're afraid to
clothes,
reach out. We don't have those resources in places.
mm-hmm. We don't. I think some churches do more feeding people and clothing people, but again, like I said, the mental health support part and the supporting people is an issue. And I think too, we see everything as the devil.
Yeah.
That's a major problem because
We
everything
need
somebody,
discernment in the church.
yeah, everything is in the devil, everything is in the spirit. But we got to understand that everything that happens in the natural has to first have a door to come in. Any spiritual being that comes has to have a door to come into. And a lot of times those doors are opened by experiences you've had. Think about when people are molested, what comes in after that? What comes in when you have trauma and hurt and pain? Shame. Guilt
Shame.
comes
Yeah.
in.
Mhm.
Shame comes in. Unforgiveness come in. All of those
Hatred,
depression.
all that. Envy,
Uh,
yes.
yeah.
Anxiety, all that.
So if we only take care of the spiritual part of the person, that means guess what's going to happen? Those same spirits going to come right back.
Mm.
Because you can release and you can cast out demons all day, every day if you want to. But if that house is not clean and not occupied by the right thing, then they're going to come right back. Isn't that what the Bible say?
That's what the Bible say. They come on back.
Right back. Yeah, they're going to have a party and say, oh, we back, y'all. Oh, yeah, we back in our home. But you got to make sure that you provide what is
Right.
necessary for the upkeep of the person.
Yeah.
And that's like I said, we wonder why they go back into the same thing. And we always say, I ain't gonna keep helping them because all they do is go right back. Well, what did you do to keep them from going backwards?
Right. Right. Right.
It, if God has made them free and they are free indeed, in order for them to stay free, you have to do something. You
Yeah.
can't just give them the word and it's, no, you can't just do that. The word is good. Praying is great, but you got to also take care of the whole person.
Yes. And that's one thing that I think that the churches, when they hear the word mental illness or mental health, that stigma that come along with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all for. I know Jesus is the ultimate healer, the ultimate
Mm-hmm.
deliverer. I know that for a fact because I know what he did for me.
Mm-hmm.
However, I still believe that therapy is okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. It's okay. The Bible tells us that it's okay to seek wise counseling.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, like you said, some people just looking for a companionship. You know, some people just need somebody to talk to and somebody to listen. And but
Mhm.
every time if I go to you and you know you telling me just to pray about it, give it to the Lord, and you know I'm gonna be all right. But I just need for you to just listen right now. And see, a part of therapy, you know, just to have the a ear to listen, a listening ear, and to be able to understand where they're coming from. And we don't have some. I'm not saying all churches, but you know, we don't have people that's trained to listen. You know, like we said, everything the devil. But I'm dealing with some other issues, and I need somebody just to listen, not give me no feedback. Just listen to me.
Yeah, and that's what counseling really is, because you don't really talk a lot in
Right.
counseling people. It's for them to talk and be, and you're not giving them like this advice, like I think you should do this, I think you
Mhm.
should do that. You're like, okay, what goals can we set?
Right. Let them set their goals, and we gonna okay. What we gonna do first? You know,
Mm-hmm.
where do you see yourself going? Where do you want to go?
Mm-hmm. So, getting pastoral counseling training, mental health coaching training, because there are several, and I use them all the time, even training in child abuse, training in human trafficking, because what we don't know is there are people that come to the church looking for children, looking for people, women, looking for men that they can. And I had a show last year with ATI, Anti Trafficking Association. Like they came and he said that Mr. Wolf, I can't remember his first name, but anyway, he said that you find them in the church, because guess what? You're not going to really be looking for them in the church, really. You
No.
know, because they look just like you. We look at it as this, we think about this white van coming, you know, and they gonna just grab you, you know. But it's people that look just like you.
Just praying over our children. They're
Yeah.
praying.
And they are easily preyed upon, because guess what? They're broken.
Mm, yes.
And
From
they're in need of care, but we're not providing it. And I
right.
think those are the things we're looking at, and we're wondering, well, how this can be, how can this happen? Why is this happening? Because we're not properly preparing people, and we're not really providing the resources that they need. How many people, I mean, if you said that in your mentoring program you talk about human trafficking, but
Yes.
guess what, there are other people that are not in your program that need to know that,
Educated. Yes. I
and
know.
they're not there are a lot of programs that actually work with churches to inform you. It's on watch in the like I said, ATI, they do programs so that they can inform you of that.
And
Yeah.
those are resources. Like we asking, what can we do? That's a resource. You know, it's okay to invite people in to speak to your congregation.
Hmm.
Outside of the spiritual aspect, we need the spiritual. We need it. Biblical principles, we need it.
Hmm.
But we also have to feed the whole man, and I think we said that already. We need to feed the
Hmm.
whole person, and
Yeah.
so we have a responsibility as believers to make sure that that whole man is being fed. Because when people come into the church, you know, they come, like we said, they come in broken, you
Hmm.
know, and they come in with all these issues, and we feeding them the word, but we not addressing the other issues that they are dealing with. And so they don't catch on because the preaching of the cross is foolish to them, so they don't believe, and that's the word. So you
Hmm.
give them the word all day. If they don't believe it, guess what? You just preaching because they got to first believe it.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so that's
But
what's causing a lot of people to come in and go right back because they getting all this word, but then they dealing with other stuff that we not addressing.
yeah. And I was bothered by that though when he said that they're in the church. Because I'm like, no, that bothered me really, because I'm thinking about the church in scriptures, right? And how they will always be discerning. And I'm like,
Mhm.
so Don, what are we doing wrong? Because that don't make sense to me. How can you come into the church and you're doing all that?
We definitely need discernment. That should be every church prayer. I know that's my prayer as just the individual, not just as a church. increase my discernment.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to be able to know whether this person needs to, like we talk about casting out demons. If I need to cast out a demon, or this person needs some therapy. If they need to just know some wise counseling, I need to know the difference between the two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You have to know what you're dealing with. Um, and that's why I said that we have a lot of work to do. I think we have a lot of work to do because there are people that have come into the faith and they have actually kind of pretty, I don't want to say damaged, but they have made the church look different to people now. You know, we look totally different. I think that if we apply what we just talked about, I think we can eliminate a lot of the sexual immortality in the church. We can eliminate a lot of the suicide that's going on because if you know who you are, we um, teach you about who you are. We let you know what your spiritual gifts are because those gifts don't just work in the church; they work outside as well. Because those are the gifts and those are the things that you should operate in your workplace and all of that. It tells you what jobs you should be working in. What your personality is, what pitfalls you should avoid. When we open up people's eyes about human trafficking and all these other issues, then I think we'll be a fully aware community where that when the devil does bring something, we know what it looks like.
Right.
We can recognize it. And then guess what? We don't become praised through the enemy.
Right. Fully loaded and ready.
Mm-hmm. We'll be fully loaded. You're right. Ready to go. Ready to. We'll be a stronger army. We won't be trying to
And
go
we'll
against
avoid a
people.
lot of temptations too. We won't be so easy to
Yeah.
fall in temptation
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
can recognize the enemy and his tricks and all the things that he's trying to present to me. You know, 'cause I'm
Mm-hmm.
educated and I'm empowered.
Mm-hmm. I know what he looked like. You
Yeah.
know, that's important. That's important. I think this conversation is good and I think this will help a lot of people, but we have to get back to the beginning. I
Yeah.
think the basis of life. I think that song, I don't know if you know, but and I don't know who's singing. But this is a song you used to hear all the time when I was little. We need to get back to the basis of life. A
Yeah.
heart that is pure and a heart that is right.
Yes.
But
And
fervently
showing,
grounded.
yes. And
We
showing
like
that love and kindness as the word has stated. Um, because we're gonna meet people on different backgrounds, dealing with different things, and everything's not visible.
mm-hmm.
Visual. Some things that people can be smiling on the inside, but about to go home and take their lives. And
Mm-hmm.
so, not only do we have to have a level of discernment, but because of that love and kindness, we can save somebody's life. Just being kind, a kind word, will go a long way. Make people feel
Mm-hmm.
value, make them feel like they're not alone. It can even, that anxiety that they may be feeling, because we
Mm-hmm.
normally feel anxiety, sometimes it's like just a constant worry. Some people have trust issues. So if we present ourselves as this loving individual so that they can trust us, then that kind of lessen their anxieties and the stress and stuff. I don't have to look behind my head all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to get back to that love and kindness. Have I drawn thee?
Right. It's a lot. We have a lot of work to do. And me and Cassie are here to help you get there.
Right.
Cassie is a social worker. She does mentorship. And hey, you know what, Cassie? That'll be good because even though your mentorship is where you are, people can learn from you how to mentor others and children, because we need it. We're allowing TV to mentor our children. We're
Yes.
allowing other people to celebrities and all of that to mentor our children when we need to do that not only in our homes but in our churches as in schools as well. So it has been a great show, Cassie. I love talking to you.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad I just met you today and we were just having a great
I
conversation.
know about to miss the show talking.
But that's good community. I think that this conversation shows community.
Yes.
This is what community looks like. We're talking about issues. We're not downgrading anybody. We're talking to each other and talking about different issues and how they can be fixed. I think that's an important thing. That this is it's an easy fix. This is an easy thing to do. It won't be easy going to the classes, but it's something we already know what the solution to the problem is. And like I said, we can provide it. I offer pastoral counseling courses. I have resources that you can use to get mental health coaching certifications and other certifications as well, so that you can be able, and it's not just for people who have degrees. I mean, you don't even have to finish school. You can get those certifications and you'll know what you're doing, so that we can actually help people the way we need to be helping. And not only that, it'll draw people to Christ. And when you're doing pastoral counseling, you're learning it, guess what? It's going to touch you and it's going to deliver you, because first thing you're going to be doing is dealing with yourself.
Self first.
Yeah, so that you can help other people. So hey, if you want to learn mentorship, if you need some assistance from Cassie McDuffey, honey, go ahead and check in with her. She's going to give you her information on how you can get in touch with her. But listen, before we leave this show and before she says that, here's what I want you to know. It can be done, and is necessary and needed for us to have a community where people feel safe and we become the open Bible for the world to see. We are the greatest.
Let the light shine.
That's right. People may not pick up the Bible at all, but if we are living the Bible, we are the breathing word of God that people will see, because we're supposed to be that example. So Cassie, tell everyone how they can get in touch with you.
Yes, so I am on social media, Facebook, Instagram. My personal page is Cassie McDuffey, and my mentorship is Be the Difference. That's BEE, the Difference Mentoring Program. Outside of that, you can reach us at 601-392-2498. And I'll be glad to help support anyone that want to start a mentorship, because it's needed all over the world. I don't compete, baby. Let's collaborate. So I don't mind helping anybody that's interested in starting a mentorship or need some resources, guidance. I am here.
That's right. Good. Thank you so much. And anything else you need, just let us know. You can get in touch with Majestic Talks LLC here on Facebook, on Instagram, at www.majestictalks.com. We're everywhere on social media if you need anything. And then there's 864-396-8485. You can also get in touch with us like that way. But leave a message if we don't answer, because we open at a certain time, since I still have a full-time job. But you can get in touch with us if you want pastoral counseling courses done for your church, or you want to take one. Just let us know and we'll get in touch with you, okay? Again, thank you so much, Cassie, for being on the show. It was a great conversation. I enjoyed talking to you, but don't go anywhere yet.
Okay.
And everyone, thank you so much for watching the show, listening to the show. However you're getting it, thank you so much. And we'll see you next time on the Majestic Talk Show next month, which will be August. And we're going to continue with love and mental health, okay? So have a nice night. Again, thank you for watching. Good night, everybody.
Talk to me, Majestic Talks. Come and talk to me. Talk to me.